Do you feel like you've lost your motivation and you are drifting aimlessly in life? Then this message is for you to help you get re-inspired, reconnected with your dreams, and back in flow. Think better, live better. Here's Hilda and Team Sabiti as they vividly talk about life and break down ways to be unapologetically successful in life. The Coach. Give yourself the permission to live the life you deserve.
Today, we're talking about the battles that we face in life. That is life, work, and relationships. Choosing your battles wisely. Choosing when to fight and when not to fight. When to walk away and when to look away. It's about choice. It's about what you choose to do.
Life in itself is a battle, and a continuous battle. You conquer today and does not mean you'll not have one tomorrow.
Yes.
Another one comes and you conquer it. In other words, it's from day one to day last. But in between, there'll always be battles. But some of the battles, just like she said, choose your battles wisely. But the art and the skill that you need is what we'll be sharing today. How do you choose your battles wisely? I've seen people, Bahati, who've been involved in battles that are not theirs. Others have started their own battles without knowing. And guess what? These battles, take a piece of you. They kill you without knowing. So fight a worthy battle. If it's not, come on.
If you know you
it's
won't
not
win
yours.
it's not worth it. If you know you have nothing to gain out of it, it's not worth fighting at all. Now, I want to, just a scenario. I think I've met so many people in life that are actually, are busy fighting battles that do not even belong to them. But again, we are human and we are going to get pissed off. We are going to get annoyed. We are going to get insulted and we're going to get angry at some people. But does it mean that we should always react, say something, do something, fight back? No, I don't think so.
No.
So just imagine a person, because we have people in the world that only thrive for as long as they are pulling someone down.
True.
They feel they can only succeed at the expense of others. They feel they can only be famous if they can only blackmail someone or step on someone. Now, we all have those people in our families, at our workplace. There are those wiseacres who just feel like the moment they are up here, then they should be dragging
And then there are
down.
some others who just think that if I get into this battle, I just want to prove to them that I'm right. But I think choosing your peace is better than you trying to be right.
Of course.
Have you ever had people who are in a battle, but it's only about show off? Someone just wants to show you that he understands more. Someone
he has better English.
Exactly.
Or he talks more.
Thank you.
Or he's louder than you. They always have points to prove. I'm talking about real life because I've met these people. We've been in them. You go to a boardroom, you go to boardrooms, you're pitching for business, you're in a market somewhere buying something, you're in a supermarket somewhere paying for something. You will always find these people because we are all not the same.
I'm telling you, at times I find people just, in a battle, which is not really uncalled for. You're arguing with a guy on his job. He's a security guy. He's been instructed that he has to do the check. And you're telling him, you can't check my car. And you're like, what does it take for this guy to just do his job? And you drive. And you're all lining behind this guy and he has said no. And you're wondering, what is he protecting? He spends about 15, 20 minutes arguing with a man who's just been instructed to do his job. The end result, they check the car before he proceeds. And you're like, why did you have to go through all that? Okay, if you knew you didn't want your car to be checked, you would have parked it outside and you just walked in. Anyway, the thing is how to choose your battles. By the way, have you ever realized that can spoil the rest of your day?
Of course. Even your years.
Yeah.
It can spoil how you look at your family members.
No,
it can spoil how you
when you get out of your house with positive energy and you'd want to be productive.
Someone honks at you.
Yes, and you are quarreling with everyone on the road.
Put your hand up and
you should like a finger and do what, Oh, come on.
It's not worth it. Now, number one, if you are to choose your battles wisely, you really have to know what you want in the world.
Very true.
You have to know where you are going, what you have come for, because you go to different places. You go to a petrol station, you go to supermarkets, you're stuck in jam somewhere, you go to your workplace, you go back to your family. Where do you want? Where is your focus? Now, let not someone else take you off that focus, because again, you're going to end up looking like a fool. Why? Because you didn't get to where you were going. You didn't get what you want. Why? Because you paid attention, and so much attention, to everyone else that was saying something. There's an example that my mother used to give me of you're busy running a race. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
And then the people behind you, because they know you love oranges so much, they keep dropping oranges.
Yes.
So instead of running, you start
keep
picking the oranges,
yes.
and they get past you.
Exactly.
And most of them, they will not throw oranges in your way. They will throw them, of course, so that you can scatter, be able to gather up and be able to go. Now, that is what happens in the world sometimes.
That's the only way someone can keep you. You know, when you want to be focused, when you know where you're going and you know exactly what you want in life, the best way we can distract you is by throwing, just like the
Exactly
example
what
you've
you
used, yes,
want.
the oranges. So when we throw an orange, you stop running, you pick the orange. That means you've lost maybe a minute or two.
Yeah.
Now, it's a matter of knowing that he will respond if I send this text message.
Yeah.
As simple as that. If I provoke him with this text, he will say something. And that's enough to make you less productive for that day.
Yes.
He knows that you will dwell on that text message. You'll pick up the phone and quarrel. Okay? And etc. and etc. I think
Oh,
the
you
other
will
day,
start crying?
we were talking to a certain lady who had come for counseling, and she said that my husband, okay, the story, there are two women, okay, on one man, and happens to be that on a muchala moto. So in other words, the other one feels like, I'm the one who owns the man. Now, the woman, started provoking this young girl, sending her pictures and etc. But this girl was wise. She said nothing back. Now, that's being focused. Why? Because all that she thinks at that moment is your attention is going to be drawn away, and you're going to start a battle. You start fighting.
You're losing the most important
you think about the most important thing in your life. Okay, this time, all that I'm thinking about is I have a child, I have a family, and I have a husband. Though he's a shared husband, but I call him mine too. Anyway, that's beside the story. The most important thing, there's someone who's trying to distract you, who's trying to throw oranges. He knows that if he provokes you, you're going to say something back.
If he calls you a slut, then you're going to say something. They know exactly what to say. Exactly what to say, when to say it, just to provoke you to say something.
True. You walk into your workplace and someone knows how to get onto you proper. He uses one word and the rest of the day is gone. So what we do here on the coach, we show you some of those areas. We point out. You realize we use so many examples, but you know where you fall. You know exactly where you fall. So you just pick what belongs to you and you take it. Okay? If you know what you want, I can assure you, no one will be able to successfully distract you from your course. You'll keep in your lane and you will achieve your goals.
Yeah. And just like the saying goes, the two wrongs can never make a right. Now, if someone else you feel they are off, instead of you going off or stooping too low to get to their level or doing something that you should never have done, then it's always better to know when to walk away, when to turn away. It's a choice. You have the freedom. It's you. One way of detoxifying your mind is to slow down. We do a lot of things, and we are in the world where the world is fast-paced. So we are at go, 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 go. You're running here, running there. There's an errand. There's this. So the chances of us to do something that we didn't expect ourselves to do are very high. Why? Because we keep going. The moment you slow down and you're like, but is it worth it?
And by the way,
what am I going to gain from this?
The way we slow down, using some of the examples, okay, someone is trying to use your weakness or your weaknesses, okay, to make a point, okay, to distract you, to make you lose focus, okay? Now, this is what happens when we say slow down. When you receive, say, a text message, someone is trying to provoke you, pretend like you've not received the text message. Put the phone aside, get back onto your laptop, okay, and continue with your work. Or else get a place, engage in a totally different conversation. Because what he wants is you to dwell on the text. At times, delete it.
Don't look at it again. Wow. Okay. Now, this, you'll feel like you're not being mean. You are being selective. You are practicing your choice. It's a right, and you have a right to personal freedom to choose what you prefer, what you want, and how you want your life to move. These are real life.
I'll go back, Bahati. I'll go back the other side. The person who sent this text expects a response. Do you know how it feels when someone ignores you?
I know.
It's a lost battle, right?
You feel like you're bubbling. The other person has won.
Why? Because when you send them that text, provoking them, you're calling them names.
She's waiting. She's even checking her phone every time
and
to see
all
the
day nothing.
And she's only waiting to brag to show another person. You see, I told you. She would respond in such a way.
Exactly.
But there is nothing. And this person, and he's like, what's wrong? I mean,
so in choosing our battles wisely, okay, sometimes when you know what you want in life, stay focused. Nothing should take you off your course or off your lane. Stay in your lane, know what you want in life, and laugh at the devil. Am I the preacher now?
Yeah, so we're talking about choosing your battles wisely. And this is something that has happened to all of us. There's no one that can jump out of the net and say, no, me, I've never had to deal with that. We have had to deal with this time and again. And something else that came to my mind, Tim, as we were speaking earlier on, when you talk about choosing your battles, some of the battles that we see, that we fight, we actually fight symptoms. We do not take the time to go and trace the cause of this whole
battle,
thing.
yeah.
So we are on top, we are on the leaves, we are fighting. They are just symptoms.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was talking to a girl, a young girl that has a mother. And the mother was behaving in a certain way. And after talking to this girl, I was like, by the way, your mom is a human being. She also has things that she is going through. Half the time, the anger and everything that she's giving you and the attitude that she's giving you, she's also battling with certain things. There is a history to whatever is happening in her life. There is something, somewhere, this kind of action is coming from. We all have past experiences. Now, if someone was brought up in a rejected home, they bring that rejection even back to their homes. They grow up with it. They pass it on. Now, when you're fighting and someone is just showing you a very bad attitude, but you never know where they're coming from. So you're here quarreling with someone at a symptom level, and yet that thing is coming from somewhere.
Yes, and we tend to carry, Hilda, let me tell you, the way you were brought up, I don't know how, but I can assure you, without thinking, unless if you're the kind who deals with issues in detail and nails down everything, I can assure you to a certain extent, if you, now like the example you've given, if you were raised up, okay, by someone who's not by a guardian, by someone, by a friend to your mother or blah, 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 and etc. And they treated you a certain way without thinking. You somehow start to live like that.
Yes.
Unless if someone helps you, okay.
And shows you that this is wrong.
That this is wrong.
And you're willing
But
to
at times, even when someone shows you that it's wrong, by the way, unconsciously you find yourself reacting a certain way without knowing. Now, just imagine, just like Bahati put it, is a symptom. Someone is reacting the way he's reacting, but not just because of what has just happened, but because of a lot that has happened in the background that you don't know about.
You don't even have the time to dig.
And human beings, the way we are created, we are selfish in nature. In that, at a certain point, we somehow think of ourselves first before we think about others. You get the point? So at that point, you're babbling and you just want to feel like slapping someone, but it would only take you a minute to try and put yourself in another person's shoes and try to think.
What were they thinking when
why
they were doing
would
this?
Someone do this? Why would they respond the way they have responded. You know, some of those questions, they're called sober questions.
Yes.
You become the sober one in the equation and you try to think. Now, I'm not asking you to always make yourself the...
to sacrifice yourself.
Exactly. But what I'm saying, where necessary, do it. Why? Because I'm here with Bahati. We're doing a show. And then all of a sudden she does something that I know she's not done
Before.
maybe in the last 4 or 5 years. I've never seen her react the way she's reacted. I'll not be so quick to judge her or make it a battle. What I would want to deal with, why would she behave
Why
the
now?
way she behaved? And why now? Okay? Because there are reasons, underlying factors. Okay? People have a lot of stress. There are times I am driving and you clearly see that this person is on the road, but I don't think he's even seeing where he's going.
True.
And you know, border borders meander in the road.
I know.
The way they knock most of these border borders, they assume and ever. And that's how they are knocked. Because I've ever been in a situation where I'm carrying a lot on me. I'm really stressed. Okay? In that, I don't remember how I entered Dakar and how I got home. But all I know, I'm home. So in between my workplace and home, I can do... There's a lot that I can do. At times, you realize how people can yell at each other in the traffic jam. You just say that this man, okay, I don't think if he was in his right senses, he would use the words he has used, okay, to a stranger. And you try to look for, but it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah. His frustration is coming from somewhere. It's a symptom. So you're dealing with symptom. That means that wherever you go, you're just fighting. Symptom. You're just fighting, but you never get time. And if you want to avoid that, you learn to look for physical solutions. And if you don't have a solution to something, you walk away from it.
Very true.
The moment you turn it, the moment you calculate and say, you know, mfuniramu, where does it take me? Does it add value to me? And it's not adding value to you. You make sure that you walk away. So, and even, by the way, it can even be with people that we normally interact with. We all, the other thing, I think the other point that it brings us to is you have to know people's personalities are different.
Yeah.
You have to know that people are totally different.
Yes.
Now, there is something about me, as recently, Tim, I was telling you, that when we go to a shop, we've gone to buy a mattress. My deal is, I have the cash, the mattress is there, I talk to the shopkeeper, how much is it? If I want to bargain, it's just a little bit, I will just take it the way it is. And I'm like, you know what? I pay, I go. But Tim here is different because I've made transactions with you. You will go to buy a mattress and believe me, you will tell the seller that this corner, the manufacturer is not supposed to do it like this.
Okay, yeah, that's true, yeah.
And in that moment, by the way, so many times I've wanted to tell Tim, but by the way, let's just buy and go. And I'm like, no, he's going to tell me it's my money. So I have to, I have to get the details. And I'm like, okay. So I'm going to wait around. I'm going to stand and I'm going to wait until he's finished his talk about the manufacturer and then the regime of industries and then how much this should have been, why they are selling it that much and how far the economy has gone and then what the future of that market, how it's going to look. And I'm like, I'm going to... So I will stand for an hour while he does all that calculation.
It's hard and maneuver.
I know. But now I'm showing you that we have different temperaments.
Exactly.
Now,
yeah.
if you want to pick battles every time, and I'm like, you know what? I will never go shopping with you. I will never do this. I will do this. Then I have a problem. Why? Because I have not understood the person that I am dealing with.
True.
So half the time, we just have to understand that, by the way, you've stayed with someone for 5 years, 10 years, learn who they are.
Yep.
That every time I react in a certain way, this person reacts in a certain way. At some point, don't give it to them the way they expect them to be.
Very true.
Just be wise and say, you know what? I'm not going to fight in here. I'm just not going to respond. I'm not going to react in this.
True.
It's not going to see me. And I believe that's one way that you choose battles. As we're about to go for the break, it's not about how many times you stand to fight that matter in life.
Yep.
It's about how many times you walk away from fights. That actually shows your strength.
And then the other thing is the assumption that if I show them that I'm strong, then they'll feel me. Never works.
No.
It's actually how you're able, okay, in that moment, okay, to be man enough to walk away from nonsense. Now, I specifically use the word nonsense because some battles are not worth it. You just realize that this person is just wasting my time. Okay?
Yes.
You look at them and you're asking them, what have I done? And you can't explain it. It's just going to spoil your day. Walk away. Just go. Okay? There was a time, you remember, when I was trying to direct someone to reverse into the road. And then another car comes from the other side. So I stopped this person. I'm like, wait until this person goes. And the guy drives next, to me, and he's like, do you have magazine? How can you direct someone to get into the road while I'm coming? I'm like, that's why I told this person to stop. And he was making it an issue. So I just knew the best thing to do is to walk away. Why? Because now I'm wasting my precious
And someone who's not going to understand the point at all.
Yes.
Even if you explained for the next 10 years.
I was clearing the way for him, and he's quarreling about me clearing the way for him. You get the point? So why waste my time with such a person? You just do your other things. So there are ways that someone will spoil your day without thinking.
So many, there are countless ways that anyone
But we must learn to choose our battles wisely.
To stay connected with the coach, call 0757 117 117 or 0784 331 331. Or on social media, Bahati Hilda or Team Sabiti. You can even email us at bahatihilda@gmail.com.